Title: The Giant Black Bird in the Hole, a 1940s California tale, told by me, the grandson of the person who told me the tale. Opening shot: eerie countryside landscape with ominous music playing in the background, fade into a small farmhouse. Alex, now an elderly man, sits on the porch of his farmhouse with his grandson, James. It's dusk and the sky is turning dark. James is eager to hear another one of his grandfather's stories. James, Grandpa, tell me another story from when you were a kid. Alex smiles warmly at his grandson, knowing just the tale to captivate his imagination. Alex: all right, James, let me tell you about the time when I was around your age, back in the 1940s, growing up in California, in a quiet little farming community. Everyone knew everyone in that place. Everyone knew the church's, pastor to the librarian. That was that type of place. And so, James' eyes widen with anticipation as he begins to weave the tale. Alex, me and my friends, we were all about 11 to 12 years old, just innocent kids exploring the countryside. And we would go out hunting, we would go out jackrabbit hunting, we would, just explore trees, and we would go at night. And one night, we were out near the farm field, and when we stumbled upon this massive hole in the ground, like nothing we'd ever seen before. James, how big was it, Grandpa? Alex gestured with his hands. It was huge, at least 10 to 20 feet deep, probably more. We couldn't even see the bottom of it, and then we saw it. Now, Alex leans closer, drawing James in the story. One of my friends, feeling brave or maybe just reckless, and his name was Bill, decided to throw a rock in the hole because he was just that type of kid. And that's when we saw it, or he saw it actually, a gigantic eye opening it from the darkness below. James: no way. Alex: I swear, and it was something out of a nightmare. His friend had told me that he saw this eye, and I didn't believe it, and when I went and leaned in, I saw it with my very own eyes. And so we all ran for our lives, terrified beyond belief, but when we went back to the next day, the hole was empty. Now we told our parents, but they didn't believe us, of course. We were little kids. So, cut to the scene. Later on, after we left, we saw trucks and police cars surrounding the farmhouse. Alex, the government got involved, telling the farmer, Bill, to fill up the hole and beef up security around his farm, basically putting a fence. So Bill talked to my grandfather a couple of days later and said, boys, you saw something you shouldn't have. Don't go spreading rumors, or the police might come knocking on your doors and might want to interview your parents and you. It might harass you, so don't say anything. So cut back to Alex and James, and so James was like, so what do you think it was, Grandpa? Then Alex looks off in the distance, a nostalgic twinkle in his eye. Well, we think it was a giant black bird because we saw a wing, and we didn't see the full body, but I just felt it in my gut that it was a giant black bird, because we've seen birds before, but not to this scale. But I'll never forget that giant black bird in the hole, and I'll never forget the fear it struck into our hearts that night, and my friends. And later on, I will tell you a little bit more about his stories with the blackbirds, because it wasn't just this encounter, it was many times later on in the past. So, closing shot, the farmhouse silhouette against the darkened sky, and eerie music fades out. End story. So that's, guys, the first story of my grandfather's chronicles of his stories when he was a kid. And there will be more stories involved with this. There will be hopefully a daily amount. I'm trying to just test out the waters with this. I really want to make this thing. I should tell you, my grandfather isn't around anymore, so I wanted to kind of give his memory something so that later on, years later, I could listen to this and other people could hear his story so it wasn't forgotten. And so I guess you could say it's something to give back, because his memory is important and he should be remembered by his stories. And I can't remember them all, and I rather do it now when I'm young. So this is why I'm doing it, for people, myself, and everyone. So enjoy the stories, because there will be a lot of them, and hopefully daily on here. So thank you, and see you soon.